Okay, a little video update of this project out here because I'm actually very happy with how it's turning out. It's been back-breaking work, particularly since I pulled my back raking a few days ago, of all things. So I've been real easy does it now, whoop, flipping over all these pieces of concrete. Now remember, we had the sidewalk redone out front. The city did that for us. And we asked them to leave behind the concrete chunks so that we could repurpose them. As I did in the back here, we're working on a small greenhouse in the way back there, right back there, from broken up concrete from a pad over there that was all in disrepair. So it was like, let's leave us that material value, and they were happy to do that. So I sorted things, kind of medium, big and small, and kind of dug out an area for what will be a stone table, circular round table with a stone top that inside has a cooler. So the middle of the table will be perhaps like a foam or styrofoam lid that they pull off, real lightweight, and inside there'll be a barrel. And outside of that barrel, up against these rocks on the inside and the cob we're going to be building up, will be a layer of insulating sand. I don't think insulative is a word. Insulating sand. And what we'll do is from this blessing well, we'll run a pipe down underneath here that taps into that sand, and the watertight barrier we're going to create, that thin insulating layer, that watertight barrier, and to whatever degree that blessing well is loaded up with water, that will match here level wise, because with the pipe connecting them at the bottom, they become one container. Get me? So you could have the blessing well say higher even than here, full of water, and then water would be coming out of the top. So we're going to balance things just right, so you'll be able to look at that blessing well, know how much water is in it, and then that will also tell you how high up the water is wicked in the sand that surrounds the cooler here. So that'll be in the middle. We've been developing different mascots for different founders of this garden: Penny, Rob, Joni, Sharon, Kathy, Dee, I know I'm forgetting people, Kenny, people who have been a part of this for years. And so this round table will have decoratively on it each of the mascots, kind of like a round table of mascots and fun critters. And so, you know, and they know this, we've talked about this. The idea is that we're all being memorialized in this property in some way, and that perhaps when we, certain mascot, leave this world, maybe somebody else in the community takes on that role. So we got this longer bit out here, which I kind of want to do. I'm torn. I want to do maybe a bird bath or some kind of like fun art feature right here, and a small little like personal pizza, single loaf of bread size wood-fired oven right here. But may decide to just put that wood-fired oven here, cob oven. Build the base up to about here, get some fire brick, make a dome of sand, make a bunch of cob around that, let that harden, pull the sand out. Now you got an igloo. Get it nice and hot on the inside. When it gets hot on the inside, the thermal mass of the earth warms up, and you can actually pull the all the wood ash and whatnot out, and then use the oven as just a hot oven. Generally, that's a lifestyle thing, because it's best used if you start a little fire in there in the morning and make your muffins, your breads, whatever, and then you just stoke it throughout the day, add a little bit more fire throughout the day, and breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you're somehow using it all day long from that wood fire. And then we got this path here, a little fairy path that gets a little smaller. I kind of want to give kind of an abstract vision of of a tree here, right? Coming from, you know, I'm at the roots right now. And so this area would be like landscape, and then up a tree, right? And I like the figure 8 created by these circles. And so this is kind of a branching off that will have our fun little fairy characters and whatnot here, and really beautify this otherwise neglected space right under the tree. Plant a lot of flowers, make it a really pretty area over here. And now about the blessing well. It's basically a wishing well, but the money and change that's thrown in here will put towards garden stuff. Hey buddy, people are gonna be stealing that change. The idea is to put some kind of grating or whatever over it, so that it just kind of goes in, the change falls in into the water, and then like unlock the grating and lid, and then, you know, pull up a bottom strainer that grabs all the change, or a net or something that just kind of is all in there. That's the idea. Now, if someone wants to fight to get 50 cents that's down, I mean, okay. What they could do is harvest a bunch of these little carrots and some of this garlic and go sell it for $2, but okay. Anyway, so that's it. That's the blessing well. The idea is that people don't wish here anything for themselves, that when they throw coins in, they wish something for someone else. That's the whole idea, and the magic behind it, if you dare to call it that. So you can see I still got quite a bit of this concrete here, and my plan is to still bring this out a little bit further, a little bit more organic curves here. It's a little choppy and unfinished, but most of this big stuff, well, let's take a little walkie walk. Most of this big stuff I want to dolly over here to put down for the stage. I keep envisioning this top area, you know, at the property's edge, as having a stage that's kind of clamshell or whatever, that then musicians are like, hey, you know how musicians do. Here's an example of some of the fairy art type stuff. You see that? What I try to do here, just to add color. Much of the year, a garden is only green. And if you're accessing it, and if it's a community garden that is being accessed, then that means you don't see the red of a tomato or the purple of an eggplant for like a minute, you know? We all envision a garden and we think of that peak moment of a garden every year, not realizing there's months of nothing but green before, and maybe months of nothing but green after a colorful garden. So I've learned it's really important to add color and art and vibrancy into the design of the space for those times when there aren't pretty flowers, but the eye wants to see color in a garden. And so again, back here, this is me working on the greenhouse, small greenhouse that has some shelving in there. And we got this here, it's cob, sculptable adobe, basically, natural building. Something I have quite a bit of experience and knowledge with, and I've taught quite a few people. Yeah, I mean, this is winter times, but we got elephant garlic coming up. We got, you can see all these carrot tops, right? They're baby carrots. And there's some overripe beets and radishes in there, and that's okay. They'll just add to the soil biology. Remember, with no-till regenerative agriculture practices, you're feeding the soil all the time. Nom, nom, nom. Eat this, eat that. Have a layer of this, have a layer of that. And that's how you keep things going. See, what trees do, and I'll end with this little science lesson. What trees do is they have big, deep roots. And they go so deep. And in going so deep, they find nutrients at different strata that are not at the surface or in only trace amounts. And so that's what's happening here is the trees dig deep, they find all this cool stuff, and they bring it up to their leaves, and then the leaves drop, and they sit on top, and then this shuffling occurs. And so over time, I mean, I'm talking eons, hundreds of years, plants and trees are pulling up and putting on top, and pulling up and putting on top. And with every breath of that, they're bettering the soil, filtering out toxins, using it. Now the soil here in Mayfield, Kentucky, within city limits, is not great. It's a lot of red clay. It can be made great, but it's not, you can't just plant in it. Not really, not unless you're lucky. And so what's happening is these trees and all this life here has been trying for hundreds and hundreds of years to better that soil, that draw up, drop, create organic matter. And given enough time, it will. And then we come along and go, oh, leaves that just fell on the ground, you must go to the end of the road and go elsewhere. Been talked into that nonsense. And so it's like the trees are like, man, I keep trying to better the soil, and yet when I do my drop, my big offload, the soil doesn't get any of it. What's happening? So that's how you got to look at things. There's a law of return and giving back, and all us fleshy things shall return to the earth in one form or another one day. So, blessing well, stone table with an insulating cooler, some kind of art and or outdoor wood oven for pizzas and bread right there, a little fairy walk up right here, and a blessing well, all from old sidewalk, some cob, and a few materials we are going to have to purchase, but not much. I think this whole thing will end up being maybe 200 total when it's done, maybe 200 total labor hours, and maybe $500. Maybe as little as 150 or 125 in labor hours. We'll see how it goes. All right, thanks for watching.